Hey, gorgeous souls, Chris here and Buddha. Apparently, I'm in front of the Buddha today, but wanted to jump on here and pull a card for the energies for this end of the week. We've had Uranus moving into Gemini. That was major. I'm sure everybody's feeling it. I know I'm feeling it. This whole like ramping up of dialogue, conversation, movement, change, disruptions. It's like happening to everybody in whatever part of their chart that it's hitting. So, and then on the 16th, so in about 9 days from now, we have the Taurus New Moon. So we had the Scorpio full moon, very intense, a lot of emotions, and for me, a lot of tears, a lot of release. And I think a lot of people had something similar. I'm going to grab some water. Hold on. It's just behind here. Um, so I have been doubling down on my nervous system regulation. I do it every day, every morning, and then once in my stuff in the afternoon, and then I have a bedtime practice. And I'm going to take you on that journey with me. Um, at some point this year, if you're part of Radiant and Arrived, it's a course, it's $27. It's like codes that I channeled from Thoth, who is an Egyptian deity of actually related to Mercury, related to communications and magic and alchemy and creation. He gave me these codes last year, and I started teaching them this year, and it was like so far, one of my most popular courses in a long time. I think we've had like 35, 36 women now going through it. And periodically, what I do is some workshops. I invite everybody in to come in, and we can do some very specific quantum work together, really working on our nervous systems, working on our identity. Um, and really connecting the soul and the identity, the destiny, right? That's what's part of what is really important about this kind of work is not just relaxing, right? I mean, that's the foundation, that's the base. Um, but there's so many more layers to that, which is why I've set it up the way Thoth gave it to me with 10 codes. So we're kind of in this interesting phase. Also, oh yeah, Pluto went into retrograde yesterday. So again, that's really about coming back to a transformation, maybe like looking at since the last retrograde, it happens like once a year. So the last retrograde, I'll have to look up the date, but basically what last year, what was like a big monumental transformation that you were learning, working through when, Pluto moved into Aquarius for good, right? And so the retrograde is a good time to like review, and we don't always have a choice, right? Um, Pluto is it's not a taskmaster like Saturn, but he is very pressury. He'll push you to the limits too, similar in a way that Saturn does, but in a more kind of underground kind of way, coming up through the unconscious. I'm going to use the Wisdom of Avalon cards for today. And so close your eyes. Speaking of nervous system regulation, take a nice deep breath in, nice and slow, holding it at the top, and then release, blowing out through your mouth really slowly. So slower than the inhale, okay? So exhale. And then let's inhale together again, eyes closed. And exhale out slowly. letting the shoulders drop. Just those two breaths, right? It sinks you down right into the earth. Okay, I ask our guides and angels, ancestors, deliver us a message. What do we need to know right now? And for everybody, you each have your own life scenario. Each have your own question. So this is a very general read, but let's see what we get. Ooh, we got the frog, number 14, cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Look at that. Beautiful. Number 14. The frog says that it's time to clean house and get rid of the clutter in your environment. That's exactly what's been at the top of my list. It keeps getting pushed off because of, work or stuff with my daughter. Yeah. So clear the clutter in your environment, your head, and your heart. Move out any objects, thoughts, or relationships that hold you back. It's time to get rid of anything that clutters your life or your space with unwanted, burdensome energy or anything that weighs heavily on your heart. So I really feel like Pluto, this is kind of a Plutonian answer to a lot of our questions like, shit feels heavy. It's because it needs to be released, right? And each of us is responsible for our own emotional well-being. And, Pluto definitely will work the emotions, but often from the unconscious, doorways where he comes through. Look around you and take stock of what surrounds you. Does what you see hold positive and supportive energy? If not, it's time to throw it away and release it so that it in turn will release you from its influence. When the frog appears, it's always spring and time for cleaning your house so you can allow new and fresh energy to enter your world. So we're getting into late spring, right? We're not summer solstice is, more than a month away. So this is a good time to cleanse your system, the body system, the mind, the soul, the house, right? Because the car, the house is reflecting your innermost state. And, I think we can get into chaos with a lot of just doing, habits that we just go over and over again, right? Okay, so the frog says it's time to release all things no longer appropriate to bring on your journey. Then you can hop to the next lily pad, light and free. It's time to lighten up. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough tour of Hermes, speaking of Thoth and magic and communications, right? So I'm going to share my screen. Should take like a couple of minutes. Okay, so now you're seeing on my screen the Hermes AI 7-day trial. So this is the main page on ChatGPT, and you're probably seeing the link, so it's all good. It's a $7 7-day trial, and basically Hermes himself walks you through how to use AI, how to prompt better, how to create systems in your business, um, how to create different kinds of strategies. So um, you basically sign up and you get an email each day with your prompt lesson. And what you do is you take that prompt and immediately like plug your own business information and who you are into it, and all that is explained here. But before I go into that, um, so what we want to do here right now is just I'm going to give you a quick demo, and basically we're teaching AI how to stop speaking to us like a motivational poster from 2017 or like an affirmation candle from the dollar store that smells like the worst, cheapest essential oils, right? Um, so we I think I know. I mean, I started working with AI because I was working for an AI platform back in 2022. So the past, 4 years, I have been, working with AI in different capacities. So most people don't give AI any context when they're first learning how to use it. They're like, make an email about, um, my astrology class and here's the dates and da da da. Make it sound like I'm a priestess of Morgan Le Fay, whatever. You know what I mean? You might give fairly like, some decent detail, right? But basically what you're going to get from that is an output that feels really generic, probably robotic, maybe weirdly motivational, but it's going to be completely off brand because the AI tool does not know who you are, what you do, who you're speaking to, right? They don't know your audience. So AI is not psychic, right? Um, we need to give her information. So inside of day one of the Hermes trial, the 7-day trial, I added a bonus lesson that's critical before even the first set of prompts that you use. And this is basically creating your identity block prompt. So, a lot of other coaches are doing this who are teaching AI. So this is not anything like out of the ordinary, but it's a step that as beginners, most people don't know about. So if you're just beginning AI, maybe you have very little experience with it, or you've had experience and you just have really, again, you're not having a great experience, you're not having the answers that you're looking for, this is what's going to help you like 100%. So this is definitely like as a beginner, the highest leverage technique and prompt that you can learn. So an identity block is a reusable prompt that you basically paste into AI. For example, Hermes is a custom chat GPT. So unless you use the same exact window for every day of the prompt, which I suggest you don't do, what you do is you're going to open a new conversation with Hermes for each of the 7 days or most of those 7 days, right? Because if the thread starts getting too long, you'll notice again the quality of everything, the answers, the output, it just degrades a lot. So you don't want to have the same thread open for 3 days. Maybe for 2 days you can get away with it, depending on how much you use it. But I would say each time you go into Hermes, I would open up a new thread, a new window. So what this block, identity block does, it says who you are, what you do, who you help, your tone, your brand style, your offers, your audience, your values, what kind of language you hate, like what you don't want it to sound like. Um, and then you paste that into AI and then you say the rest of the prompt, right? And the rest of the prompt is, again, you're going to learn through Hermes how to prompt much better. Um, so it's like basically handing AI your business operating system. So, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it'll get your emotional tone, your positioning, your audience psychology. Like once you put a lot of those basic answers in, AI will give you all of this additional way to talk about who you are, who you help, and what you do. So I'm not just really giving you this fill in the blank template. I'm showing you how to use AI to clarify your identity and positioning more clearly, maybe than you can articulate on your own. So, we're really close to our own work. It's like doing oracle cards for yourself, doing tarot cards for yourself. It's like doing your own astrology. I've been doing it for years, but it's so much more enlivening, enlightening, and revelatory when someone really good does it for me, right? I mean, you guys know this, right? So, um, let's say I'm a coach and I help women step into alignment. So, okay, but what actually changes for the people? Is it the emotional transformation? Is it the positioning? What's the real value that they get out of this stepping into alignment with you, right? I mean, we know now that that kind of vague language does not get sales, right? It doesn't help people understand what you do. Um, so I created as an adjunct and woven into this identity prompt, block prompt, is an identity clarification prompt, where the AI analyzes your answers and extracts your strongest themes, your positioning, your emotional tone, your audience, your unique value, your distinct language patterns. Um, so this is where we get, this raw input and we get the more refined strategy out of it. Okay. So this is a workflow that you can use in every future interaction you have with AI, and not just ChatGPT. It could be Claude, it could be Grok, it could be Gemini, any AI that you're using. Okay. So we don't want to get generic motivational soup every time you use AI, right? So let me is this okay. So this is what came out of Hermes when I did it myself. I'm going to pause. I need to get you the actual, I want to show you a little bit of the prompt here. Um, but you can kind of see um, some of this is obviously stuff that I put in, as because part of the identity prompt is you just give the basic 101, and then Hermes will go in and say, well, let me give you like a better way of saying this, right? So here's what he said about me. I'm a spiritual business mentor, oracle writer, and leadership guide for women who are ready to embody self-trust, emotional sovereignty, and calm authority. I think that's good. I might, again, we can always take these and edit it, or we could even go back to Hermes and say, well, I like this, but I want someone to really get it. I want like a one-liner. I want it punchy. You know what I mean? You could tell AI to take these things and even adjust them more. Um, I help spiritually intelligent women stop outsourcing their power, stabilize their identity and nervous system, and build lives and businesses rooted in self-responsibility, coherence, and sustainable wealth. Okay, I wouldn't say it like that. But again, for an output of ChatGPT, I think this is really nice. My work blends leadership, emotional regulation, spirituality, archetypal insight, identity work, and business mentorship. My core offers include private mentorship, high-level coaching containers, group programs, courses, workshops, writing and publishing projects, astrology and oracle-based frameworks. My audience is made up of emotionally intelligent, spiritually open women who are tired of over-efforting, over-seeking, and constantly trying to fix themselves. They want clarity, stability, calm leadership, and sustainable success. Okay, so I'm not going to go on. Let's go play with Hermes a little bit. So let's see. Okay, help me use AI to write better offers for my coaching business. Let's just try that. So a lot of you are coaches or do coaching kind of work. So this would be a great prompt, and you just click on that button. And he says, okay, darling, this is exactly the kind of thing AI can become wildly useful for because most coaching offers are not bad because the coach is untalented. They're bad because the messaging is vague, emotionally blurry, over-explained, or trying to sound professional instead of desirable. AI is incredible at helping you sharpen the promise, clarify the transformation, find stronger language, position your work, uncover hidden objections, turn fuzzy brilliance into a clean offer people actually understand. The trick is you cannot ask AI vague things like write my coaching offer. This gives you beige oatmeal copy. So the core offer prompt formula. So you're not even paying a cent and you're getting a framework here. So Hermes basically I'm the one who programmed him. I created him. So basically, what he does is he teaches you, he's a teacher, and also applies whatever it is that you are learning into your own business. So you can actually use Hermes to not only learn AI, but also to write your emails, write your social posts, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Hermes' favorite framework is role, goal, context, tone, format, and constraints. So that's the formula of the framework. And then he gave me a prompt. And basically what you do is you can copy and paste this. I'm going to copy. And you could also, if you don't know how to use ChatGPT, this will also copy that whole block here in the gray frame. So let's do a new document. Whoops. Okay. So this is the part of the prompt we are telling the AI, you are acting as a business strategist and conversion copywriter. Help me create a clear and compelling coaching offer. So I help specific audience. So what I can do is literally, what's great about this is he will give you these formulas and then you go to your identity prompt and go, oh, I could just tell him about this. This tells all about my audience. So then I go, I help specific audience. I help take some of this out. Emotionally intelligent, spiritually open women who are tired of over-efforting, blah, 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 blah. And we don't need to put who struggle with because we kind of already have what they struggle with there. My method or approach is, well, let's see, what do we say here? Let's see. I do not motivate, rescue, hype. I help clients stabilize. So I'm going to give him all this information because let's see. Let's see what he creates for me. Okay, the transformation I help to create is, and then the desired result. So I want them to, actually, we could probably, the transformation I want to create is that my clients want clarity, stability, calm leadership, and sustainable success. Whatever. Um, so I help emotionally intelligent. I'm going to say spiritually open women, let's see, entrepreneurs, writers, coaches, whatever. There might be other ones, right? There's a lot of other ones. So my tone, and we could go back to the identity prompt. So my brand voice actually is all of this. So I'm going to put that all in here. Some of it's kind of duplicated, that's okay. And so the format, I want the offer name, the one sentence promise, who this is for, key transformation, what is included, pricing, positioning. Okay. And then the constraints are basically don't sound like a generic coaching, vague empowerment, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're going to copy this whole thing now. And okay. Oh, I see. Because it's sometimes the okay. And I mean, there's a whole lesson here. And what you can do is how AI can help you improve an existing offer. So maybe you have existing offers and then you can copy and paste them and then use these prompts as well. Um, yeah, so we're just going to, whatever was in that doc, I am copying and pasting it in here and hit OK. This has real gravity already. The strongest thing in your positioning is that you are not selling performance, activation, endless healing, or emotional dependence. Hell no, I'm not selling that. You're selling stabilization, self-trust, energetic sobriety. That's a weird way of saying it. Again, um, we have to train AI to speak, whatever. But right now, whatever. This is like he's talking in generality, so I'm just letting him do his thing. The main refinement is we want the offer to feel slightly more concrete and livable without losing the mythic calm. I like that. So the offer name, he's giving me options. The stable self, calm, the leadership threshold, the end of overseeking, grounded. So I would say these are kind of on the boring end. So what I would probably do is go back and say, okay, make these mythic and archetypal. So I would say, please, I like to be polite with my AI, make the offer name more mythic and archetypal. Okay, so I'll put that in there. We don't have to press. When you press enter, it'll start working again. So I want to look and see if there's anything else I want to change. The one sentence, a private coaching experience for emotionally intelligent women who are finished with over-efforting and ready to lead themselves from calm, self-trust, and grounded clarity. The alternative is this work helps high-capacity women stop spiraling in self-doubt, emotional over-processing, and compulsive self-fixing so they can lead, decide, and build from stability instead of survival. I like them both and they're different, but I might go back and tweak them. Okay, who this is for. I think this is pretty good. Again, we're going to, the first draft of AI is always needs to be tweaked. Um, I think the only series that I've never tweaked is like when I created Hermes AI and I told him to write, hey, write your own email welcome series for the 7-day trial and write, the 7 days for me. I think I almost copy and pasted those emails 100% unchanged. It was so good. So, um, the key transformation. Clients leave this work more regulated, more decisive, less emotionally entangled, and less dependent on external validation. That's good. Constant reassurance or endless inner analysis. How many of us, and entrepreneurs, and especially women entrepreneurs for the most part, we're socialized to be good girls, right? We're socialized to look for approval, to seek approval, especially from male authority figures, right? So, um, I think this is a good start. So I'm just going to keep it as it is. What is included? So then they're saying not to over-explain, not to sell too much access. Okay, pricing, positioning, high-touch transformational coaching, too generic. Instead, this is premium private work designed for clients who are no longer looking for motivation, intensity, or emotional performance. The value of this work is not constant stimulation, it is stability. So yeah, I already have, my offers that do this. So I'm kind of curious to see if I can get him to make better names for me. So then he gives me the CTAs and the different positioning angles, the end of self-fixing. Okay, these are nice positioning angles. Okay, so we want new offer names because the offer names were a little bit of a snooze fest. Okay, your work order carries archetypal energy, so we names that feel ancient, stabilizing, initiatory, and inevitable without drifting into fantasy novel nonsense. Good. Okay. Not the Moon Priestess Quantum Ascension portal. Yeah, nope. Okay. Funny. Most aligned mythic offer named Cersei. I mean, I'm wondering if he's picking up that I'm already Cersei, but there's the thing is, I used a new conversation, so he doesn't have any memory of who I am. The Oracle, the Threshold, the Sovereign Nervous System, Vesta. Interesting. They gave me names of goddesses, the Seed of Self, the Returning. I think I like the Returning. I like the Still Point. I didn't see that one up there. There it is. The Still Point. I like the Still Point and the Returning. So maybe I'll go back and take one of my offers and remake it. But anyways, this gives you a much better idea of how Hermes AI works. And if you haven't used ChatGPT before, haven't used it much, now you have a better, you know what I mean, a better grasp on how to really prompt much better. So sending you so much love. If you have questions, you know where to find me. Send them my way and check out Hermes AI 7-day trial. You will love it. And I think you'll love him. He's like your awesome gay bestie who is like the most savvy and experienced marketing copywriter and brand strategist in the room. Like he's sitting there with you. So he is like your amazing, again, assistant. And he's just fun. He's fun to talk to. So I will leave it at that and sign off for now. Much love. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.